way. But you don't find any other evangelist doing it his way. And I know one person probably read this thing only once. See if you can guess who it was. Now, he says that this woman had a hemorrhage for 12 years. Well, after a long and painful treatment under various doctors, she spent all she had without being any better for it. Oh, St. Luke was a physician, wasn't he? I bet he never read this more than once. Woo. But isn't that the way it happens sometimes? You spend all you got, and then they say it's a virus. And you say, what kind of virus? Well, we're not too sure. You won't die from it? Fine. What do I do about it? Well, time will tell. $40, please. I always wonder why we don't answer, time will tell when you get it. That's what I would think. Anyway, so here St. Mark and he just don't get to the point. See, Jesus healed this woman, but he's got it in for doctors for some reason. And he's not finished yet, so he's got to add this little thing. In fact, she's getting worse. You know what I think St. Mark did? After, I bet somebody back there got worse for it too. You know what I think St. Mark did? I think St. Mark took that woman aside after everybody had gone and said, here, psst, psst. I'm going to write about these miracles. Tell me what really happened. So she goes on and she says, I was sick for 12 years. I went to all these doctors. It was very painful, and they never healed me. I took all my money. He went, oh. So, she heard about Jesus, and she came up behind him. Boy, she didn't want any more doctors, you know. So she came behind Jesus. You know why she came behind Jesus? Because she was declared unclean. She wasn't allowed to go in the synagogue. And she didn't know what to do. And so she was so upset. And she thought to herself, if I could touch even his clothes, I shall be well again. Wow. Well, and can you imagine? She's in a crowd of people. See, all these people here tonight were all bunched together, and Jesus in the midst, and this woman has to kneel down on the floor. She could have been crushed, or just walked on. She kneels way, way, way down, and she just touches his hem. Wow. What happened? All the source of bleeding dried up instantly. And she felt in herself that she was cured. Listen to this. Immediately aware that power had gone out of him. Now, isn't that interesting, huh? You don't realize that when you trust in Jesus and when you pray with a deep faith, that he will answer you somehow, sometime. Power goes out of him. Isn't that interesting? Power left Jesus. He felt it. He had a physical feeling of something draining out of him. And he turned around and he said, "Who touched my clothes?" Oh, I bet she was petrified. Just petrified. Now, here's these old disciples, you know. You see the crowd pressing around you. Why you say, "Who touched me?" Impatient. Can you imagine questioning God's question? Huh? But he didn't pay attention to him. He kept looking around. See, he kept all looking around. Now, he knew it was God who touched him. And then the woman came forward, oh boy, frightened and trembling. Because she knew what happened to her, and she fell at his feet. Now she's got courage. In her fear, she has courage to face Jesus. That's why some of you don't go to confession. You don't have the courage to face Jesus. But you never need to fear. Never. The woman came forward. And she told him the whole truth. "My daughter," he said, "your faith has restored you to health. Go in peace and be free of your complaint." You know, our dear Lord wants to do miracles for us. Every day is a miracle for all of us. Especially in this day and age. Ugh. Every day there's either something more terrible than the next that happened. You look at the news, it's terrible. It's either slanderous or it calumniates somebody, or more and more terrible things happen. And you wonder, where do I go, Lord? Go to Jesus. And you notice our Lord said to her, "Go in peace." Yeah, that's what confession does. It gives you peace. All that money you pay on psychiatrists, well, some of you need to go. But some of you just need a good conscience, that's all. Confession is free. Well, while he's talking to these people, the servants arrived and told the official, "Your daughter is dead. Why put the master to any further trouble?" It sounds like some of us, does it? Huh? It's too late. Like Zechariah.